Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and tomorrow we are getting the big fall reveal. We'll be getting the new game mode, apparently we're getting the new expansion announced, all that stuff. So today, I'm like, why not speculate? Why not speculate on what the new mode will be, and put our predictions out there, or our desires of what modes will be. So, I'm going to highlight 6 game modes, 6 different game modes that I could either see happening, or that I would like to see, and basically, yeah, no particular order here. We're just going to throw these ideas out there, and maybe we'll be right about one of them, because, well, we can only really be right about one of them, or maybe we'll be right about elements of some of them, or just be completely wrong. So let's take a look at 6 game modes that I think could be revealed tomorrow. Well, you know, one of the 6. Anyways, let's start off with number 6. I believe that this mode would be amazing, would be Battlegrounds, but without the beta tag. Okay, just kidding. That would probably piss a lot of people off. So no, we're not actually going to include that. No, number 6. I will start with probably the least likely, but in like the vein of classic World of Warcraft or World of Warcraft classic, whatever you want to call it. We'll go with classic Hearthstone. We could see the return of classic Hearthstone, return to simplicity, more basic times. It would be like a game mode where you could only play basic and classic cards. And maybe they would go back to, like, their reverted nerf status. Like, it would be literally classic OG Hearthstone. And then they could, like, trickle in, like, new expansions, like, new as in GVG or Naxxramas as time goes on. To, like, you know, relive those days of, oh, we got the GVG meta, but maybe they changed up a few cards to make it less predictable. I don't know. But it could be fun, but probably the least likely of these suggestions, and also probably the one I would want to see the least. But, you know, you always hear about classic Hearthstone. How great would that be? Probably not that great, but you never know. Maybe they'll bring it back. Number 5, I could see a 2v2 mode. So this would be you paired up with another player against 2 other players, and you could have, like, multiple heroes for each. And, like, you get to take turns playing minions, doing trading, all sorts of stuff. I don't know how this would work very well with the Hearthstone client. There's no in-game voice chat or game chat, but maybe they could make it, you know, integral that you could tell what your opponent, I mean your partner, I guess, has, and how you can game plan. And maybe they have, like, unique classes for this, or unique cards, like duo cards or something. I'm not entirely sure how it would work, but it's been something that people have wanted for a very long time, which is co-op play. And we've seen kind of, like, a little bit of hints of co-op play in Tavern Brawls, where you fought against other bosses together with people, but that's always been, like, you know, still structured in the Hearthstone way. We have one person up top, one person down below, but a 2v2 mode would be really interesting, really unique, and I would definitely want to check that out. Due to the complexity of it and how, like, the client just doesn't seem set up for it, I don't see this happening, but it could be a cool addition. Number 4, this is the one that I probably would want the most, that I could realistically see happen, but I think people would be disappointed at how, like, not basically how basic it is, and that is a permanent Brawlesium mode. So we've had heroic Brawlesiums. I don't want that. You know, the super high stakes, like, high rewards, but basically garbage rewards. And I want the regular Brawlesium, you know, the one that's, like, basically exactly like Arena. 150 gold to get in, whatever amount of money to buy in, and the rewards are the exact same. You get 12 wins, you get, like, a bunch of gold a pack. If you get 7 wins, you get 150 gold in a pack. Be exactly that. And you have Brawlesium permanently in the game, and you can have rotating rules every single week. Like, it could just be standard Brawlesium one week. It could be wild Brawlesium. You could have miniature warfare. You could have best of 3, you know, where you only get to put 3 cards in your deck. You could change the rules. And this would basically act like, kind of like a quasi-tournament mode. Because I don't think we're going to get a legitimate tournament mode where you get to, like, customize all your stuff. But this would allow Blizzard to put in a tournament mode, per se, in Brawlesium, and it'd be a really fun mode that you could just play whenever. It would, instead of playing ladder, you can play Brawlesium, and you have some stakes. You can, you know, try different stuff. You can build your decks based on what the rules are. I'd love to see it. Probably be my favorite idea for it, but again, I don't think they would do that because it's not exactly much of a new mode. Brawlesium's already done. Like, they would literally have to do nothing to do this. They've already made Brawlesium. They could just literally make a new tab in the modes thing, or just put it right under Tavern Brawl, Brawlesium, and then they're done. They can call it a day. It would actually take very little effort, so I I don't know, maybe that will be what they do. Who knows? But yeah, permanent brawl easy mode I think would be really cool and something I would really like. At number 3, we have a rotating set ladder. So a new ladder mode. We have standard, we have wild, but you can have a rotating set ladder. So what does that mean? Basically, they rotate different sets in and out, and it has like different rules every month or maybe every expansion cycle for this ladder mode. So like right now you could say, okay, we have classic, we have basic, and then we have like GVG, Naxxramas, Blackrock, and Old Doom, and you got to build your deck with those expansions only and go ladder. And it would all have unique metas because only certain cards would be available every month, and it would be pretty interesting to have a brand new ladder mode, and it would have its like, you know, its own legend ladder, all that stuff. It would function pretty much the same as what we have in standard and wild, and I could see that happening, but I also don't think it'll happen, mainly because wild they introduced as a new format. They have pretty much offered it zero support outside of a couple wild opens, basically. And, yeah, they would be making a brand new ladder mode, and I can't see them wanting to go crazy supporting one when they've had another one and haven't done that at all. And we're seeing a classic and basic rework, apparently, allegedly, from the team themselves. They said that in an AMA next April, right? So there might be just rotating sets or rotating stuff going on then, so might not happen. But again, a rotating set ladder could be really fun, really cool, really spice things up if it would like change the rules every month. You'd have something different to do every month, try and solve a new meta, and I could see that being really interesting. But of the likelihood of these ones, probably lower on the probabilities. So let's take a look at number 2, what I would like, and this one's a little bit more out there, but I've heard rumblings, people think this might happen, and I like it, is like a PvP dungeon run mode. So it'd be like Arena, or Brawl Easium, whatever, where you basically build a dungeon run-esque deck. You build a dungeon run-esque deck. So like you get to pick 3 different heroes, like from the dungeon run sets, right, with all the different crazy hero powers, and you pick that and you get your first, like, you draft a bunch of cards to put in your, basically your dungeon run deck, and then you go up against other people that have built their decks, and you try to get to 12 wins with your dungeon run deck against other people and their dungeon run decks. So this would take a lot of the current infrastructure already in the game. Like, you could use a lot of the treasures, a lot of the other stuff. You can use Bob in there as well, and people could like just battle each other with dungeon run-esque decks, and it could be really interesting. There'll probably be some really imbalanced stuff going on, like if you get a really good hero, you get really good picks, and you're going up against somebody who doesn't. But again, it's like Arena. You have that issue in Arena where someone has a really good deck and the other person doesn't. Maybe they can outplay the other person, they can use synergies that people don't think about. It'd be a really interesting mode. And again, it's something they wouldn't have to put a ton of work into, honestly. They'd have to like get the whole like matchmaking thing figured out. Like, if you've lost one, you really need to be faced to somebody who's played the same amount of games because you've had the same draft amount of options, things like that. But I think it'd be a really interesting, cool idea. And I could realistically see it happen since all this dungeon run stuff's already in the game. And, you know, you would just reuse a lot of the old assets. You could always add in new stuff, of course. Like, maybe every expansion add in a couple new, like, heroes or, like, types of cards to buy in the PvP stuff. But we'll see. I think it'd be really interesting, and I know people would get very excited for that. And the last idea that I believe could be a brand new mode, and this is the one I want the absolute most. I also don't think it's going to happen, but, you know, Battlegrounds was heavily inspired by, like, Auto Chess, right? Like Auto Chess or TFT or whatever it's called. Those type of games. It's basically kind of a clone of those, right? Well, what other game is really fun, really good, that Hearthstone could realistically copy and have to an extent with Dungeon Run in the past? That's Slay the Spire. A Slay the Spire-esque dungeon crawler mode in Hearthstone. It would be like a full-fleshed roguelike, you know, adventure mode where you have to get through like 3 or 4 different like major levels, going through all the unique bosses and building your deck uniquely every single time. And yeah, that's what Dungeon Run is to an extent, but you can fully flesh it out, make it a full like adventure story-driven thing like Slay the Spire is. And yeah, basically just rip them off, because Slay the Spire is an amazing game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It's super fun, very challenging, and if Hearthstone could replicate that or take their own spin on it, like really take that Dungeon Run theme and just blow it up. I think that would be awesome. And we haven't seen a new dungeon run in a long time, which makes me think that whatever this new mode is will be based around the dungeon run mechanics that they've been, they've been building off of that for their new mode. I don't think it's a coincidence. We haven't seen dungeon run for so long, but maybe I'm a little conspiracy. I'm speculating here, but I think, the PvP dungeon run's pretty likely. This one's a little bit more out there, but like a fully fleshed out Slay the Spire Hearthstone clone, I think would be really cool and really fun. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what modes do you hope to see? Do you think any of these could be the ones announced tomorrow? And make sure to tune into the channel tomorrow. I will have a video going up immediately after the reveal. I'm not going to have a video up early in the morning like I normally do. I'm going to be waiting, just like the rest of you, to watch the reveal, and then I'll give you my takes and my opinions on all the stuff going on. So if you can't make the reveal, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can get updated. I'll let you know everything that I love and hate about it. I'll be brutally honest, as always. Make sure you tune in for that. Have a great day. Stay salty, my friends.